After a brief break playing Final Fantasy XIV patch 6.5, it's time to carry on reviewing these anime. These anime aren't going to review themselves, and I've got even more stuff I need to record. The 4 new shows that I'm looking at today are 4 new shows which, at least 2 of them I'm anticipating quite well. There is one show which would have been in this episode, but sadly it's dual-locked, so it's been sliced off a record. Didn't happen, doesn't exist. Not worth watching. But let me know what you think of the shows in the comments below. Let me know what you think of a new format with the shorts as well as these videos. And join me, because this is a 2023 autumn anime preview from a different perspective. First up today, we've got The Family Circumstances of an Irregular Witch, a comedy anime about a witch girl who takes on an adoptive daughter who is human. The joke about this one being that the adoptive daughter ends up growing into being a much more vivacious beauty than the witch herself. And so you've got this odd couple of mother and daughter, mother being tiny cute witch, daughter being magic obsessed, very vivacious curvy human girl. Now, the premise sounds fun. The application of the premise, not so much. It's very much lowbrow comedy, which in itself isn't terrible. The way it's told here is very much lowest common denominator. Lots of mochi textured breasts are on display. Well, not so much on display, behind clothes, but they're about as malleable as Play-Doh, and as often played with. Now, our main character, Alyssa, the witch girl, she's cute, she's sweet, she's very much a doting mother, loves her daughter so very, very much, despite the fact that her daughter gets so much more attention than she does. She's a very responsible witch, has a close bunch of friends who are also doting on Viola, her daughter, and who are always always teasing her for being so cute and sweet. She likes cute and sweet things, like cute little kittens, but doesn't want anybody to take her daughter away from her. On the subject of her daughter, Viola is your main character, and she is as sweet and innocent a child you could ever want, except for the fact she looks like a nightclub hostess. The curves are all in the right places, the voice, the attitude, everything about her is perfect, except her personality, which is that of a 12-year-old girl. And so people are always mistaking Viola for the mother and Alyssa for the daughter, when it's obviously the way around. Now, Viola is very much a mother's girl. She loves her mum so much. She doesn't want anything to take it away. And even when her mother suggests getting a pet cat, she doesn't want a pet cat because her mother loves cats. Loving cats are going to take attention away from her. She doesn't want that. The other thing she loves is magic, and she wants to try and become as strong a mage as she can, despite not being a witch. Now, other than the voice cast, which I must say in this anime is incredible. Alyssa's voiced by Arikoga, who fantastic voice range all over the place, and Viola is voiced by bloody Nana Mizuki. And I, of course, paid very big attention when Nana Mizuki is involved because she's got an absolutely fantastic voice, and it's used to perfection with Viola. She's a sweet and innocent girl, and Nana Mizuki can do that perfectly. The rest of the voice cast as well, it's not just 2 main headlining voice actors. We've got some serious big clout names behind this anime. Seriously, look at the voice cast, it is insane. Now, this anime is not going to be for everyone. I'm going to go back and watch more of it because it is a bit of mindless fun, but it's not world changing. The voice cast alone is what keeps me interested. And the characters are cute, I suppose. If you do want to watch this one, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. Next up today, we've got Overtake, an anime about Formula 4 and photography. As the main character, Koya Madoka, is a newbie to a racing scene, but is a photographer who is scared of taking pictures of people. Don't know what happened in the past, some kind of trauma, where apparently he can no longer take pictures of people anymore, and has to take pictures of things. But whenever he tries to take a picture of a person, he just locks up and seizes up and doesn't want to do anything else anymore. Well, on a visit to a Fujimoto Speedway, taking pictures of a Super GT for his editor, he finds himself being given a tour of a Formula 4 paddock. And whilst there, he meets a small team called Kamaki Motors, a team with no real sponsors and a no-name driver who's down on his luck. Haruka Asahina is highly talented. He's a driven racing driver, but his personality and his look of getting a team means he's never going to make a name for himself, sadly. Now, this being Koya's first introduction to Formula 4, we get to see Formula 4 from a newbie's perspective. And as somebody who knows motorsport, I'm going to be honest with yourself, the portrayal of feeder series. And so as a fan of motorsport, this one appeals to me already because it's based on a feeder series, a type of motorsport you don't really get to see much intention over. But because it's talking about this feeder series, it can go into a lot more detail. It doesn't have the whole hidden nuance about it, the big names that you expect to be there. It's just a personal story about Koya and taking pictures, about Haruka and his team trying their best to win at the bottom of a high-speed motorsport. I'm definitely going to be watching this one. This one is probably the case this season of your mileage may vary. I'd recommend you give it a try. It is very much a personal story. It's not a sports anime. It's anime about a photographer and about a sports star trying his best. It's an underdog story, but it's probably going to be more about photography and the human story behind it rather than winning at sport. Overtake is airing over at Crunchyroll. You know what? I thought we'd had a random VRMMO anime this season. Here we got another one in the world of a playthrough of a certain dude's VRMMO life. An anime about a certain dude's VRMMO life. Now, despite the Japanese title, Ta'aru Osan no VRMMO Katsudoki, this has got nothing to do with the other Ta'aru series. It's not a certain magical index or certain scientific railgun spin-off. It's just using the same title format. And it also has no correspondence to their quality as well, because this one is very much as is for an MMO-based anime. The main character is a 40-something-year-old man who gets home tired after work one day and decides to log into a VR MMO for the first time, see what it's like. Creates a normal, generic, average-age human with some crap skills nobody likes, and somehow looks into actually getting the perfect character for the game it becomes, because this game changes after it's being released. Suddenly, the bow skills are fantastic despite being terrible in the beta. Likewise, with all the merchant skills, all potions, which were originally on sale very cheap, suddenly no longer on sale, and he's the only person who can make them. So he's making a fortune in his VR MMO life, despite just being an average Joe casual gamer playing 2 to 3 hours a day, with no real promise of playing together as a group. Now, as someone who does play a MMO, this one appeals to me from that perspective, but other than that, not much else. The main character, Earth, he's looking into everything. He's got overpowered syndrome without any overpowered qualities. He's just overpowered for no reason. Everything seems to go his way. Call it protagonist syndrome, if you will. He becomes friends with 2 other characters who are blatantly going to become his allies in this one. He bites off a duel for the first time in his MMO career and wins against a big body guy who dresses in all gold. But yeah, I didn't think I'd say this, but the other MMO anime, Shangri-La Frontier, is a better anime than this. And I rated that one as a red. This one has some premise here and there. Personally, I will probably enjoy this a lot more than I would Shangri-La Frontier, but I can't recommend it either. It's not doing anything new, so it's not really winning any special crowds over. If you do want to try this one's also airing over at Crunchyroll. Finally today, we've got an anime which, I will admit, I have been anticipating quite a lot. It's an anime called I'm in Love with a Villainess. And it's an anime about a girl transported to another world into a favourite ultimate dating game, and she's transported not as a villainess, but as a main character, Ray Taylor, who is destined to marry one of the 3 main princes of the game. Either Rod Bauer, Thane Bauer, or Yu Bauer. 3 beautiful princes, of which you can choose your destiny and choose to stay with any of them. Unfortunately for them, Ray Taylor's got absolutely no intent whatsoever of going with one of her princes, because she's got other interest in this game. Now, I must point out, this is kind of surprising. This is the 12th anime I'm reviewing. Technically the 3rd anime I wanted to review. One of them I didn't watch because of region locks. And after 12 episodes, we finally got our first proper isekai. She's an alien transported from another world to her favourite game, an ultimate dating sim. And of course, she's not in love with any of the main characters. She's in love with a villainess. The delightfully tsundere Claire Francois, who is blonde, or Josama, everything a villainess should be. And so instead of the heroine going after the princes, she's going to be ignoring them and chasing after the villainess, hand over fist, with hilarious results. In the first episode, she's already got the villainess all worried and scared of her, running a mile. That's not too surprising. She's basically a masochistic woman who just wants to be butted by the villainess all the time. You can blame a villainess for wanting to run. I can't. But I can also understand Ray's desire to chase a villainess, because the villainess is beautiful, she's adorable, she's tsundere, she's thoughtful. Even though she's always bullying, she doesn't bully too much. She's got the right level of control for villainess. She's a perfect love interest, to be honest, for our Yuri female lead. By the end of the season, I'm sure we will find some kind of chink in her sun armour, and we'll start to see the true Dera inside. Now, I'm in Love with Villainess is a really cute anime. If you like all the Villainess isekai anime recent years, this one is going to be one for you. Even if the main character herself is not Villainess, it's more of a Yuri comedy romance type isekai show, which, again, as an unashamedly fan of Yuri, I'm not against. If you too are in love with Villainess, you can find this one airing over at Crunchyroll. That was The Family Circumstances of Irregular Witch, Overtake, a playthrough of Certain Dude's VRMMO Life, and I'm in Love with Villainess, 4 shows of very different qualities, which have all aired so far this season. Let me know what you think in the comments, and join me next time as I look at the 4 next 2 shows. Be sure to check out the shorts for previews ahead of time, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.